नमस्कार, सत श्री अकाल, अस्सलाम वालेकुम। आप सबका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है मेरे आज इस सेशन में, क्वालिटीज ऑफ एन एंटरप्रेन्योर। I had been an entrepreneur all my life, almost 43 years now. How many of you have Googled me already? Type yes in the comment box if you've done that. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Suresh Mansharamani. I'm a co-founder of Tajurba, serial entrepreneur with 42 plus years of experience, three-time TEDx speaker, presidential awardee. Recently, I got awarded as Best Sales Coach of the Year by Entrepreneurs Magazine. I was born in a refugee camp in Maharashtra in Ulhasnagar. In a 120 square feet barrack, army barrack. There were no toilets. We had to go out 500 meters. Dirty, dingy toilets. From there, the journey started. My schooling was mostly in tented schools. Failed in class 2. So my first job was with a garment exporter for 300 rupees only per month. And from there, only worked for 2 years for somebody else in my life and started my first business. And that was when I was only 21 years old. And we worked very, very hard. And by 1995, we became one of the largest exporter out of India. And our company was awarded Presidential Award Certificate of Merit by President of India. And we decided to go public. So our IPO was 300 times oversubscribed, listed at Mumbai Stock Exchange. And then the going was great. 2001, we had massive failure. 2 of our major customers went bankrupt. We ended up losing 20 crores plus. And we had to sell our bungalow to pay off the bank and factories to pay off the creditors. Now, how many of you agree that bounce back is always stronger than the first inning? Because now you are not starting from scratch, you are starting from experience and wisdom. So this is in the second inning, we did wealth management. We established a wealth management company, recently sold to my co-founder. And then I became a business coach. I did my Gallup certification, train the trainer, life coaching certification. And recently I did OKR certification. How many of you know about OKR, Objective Key Results? This is a goal setting system popularized by Google in 1999 from 40 employees to 140,000 employees. And this system has been practiced by all the multinationals, Amazon, Uber, Reliance, and other top companies in the world, but nobody except me till today applied this for MSMEs. So I'm the only one in India. If you can Google the best OKR coach in India, I'll show up at number 1 or number 2. So we're going to talk about qualities of an entrepreneur. I mean, I can speak on this subject for next 24 hours. But I'd like to try to finish it in the next 30 minutes, and I'll take a few questions on that. The few qualities what I have learned and listed down here, I'd like to talk about is, number 1 is every entrepreneur should have code of honor. So I would recommend you should have 1 code of honor for yourself, 2nd for your company, and 3rd for your family. The code of honor is your core values, your value system, what you stand for, what you believe in. Yes, Sukumaran, code of honor. And you should write it down. Also for your company, for your teammates, and for your family. That is very, very important. Yes. Everybody type in the comment box code of honor. So, for example, code of honor is never abandon a teammate in the time of need. Something like that. Be customer centric. Always make your customer comes first. So the next is write down around 6 to 7 or 10 code of honors, whatever you believe in and you practice. Well, let me tell you one thing. The legal papers and written contracts sometimes has no meaning. Sometimes have no meaning. But if you are bound by a code of honor, you live by a code of honor, that's more than a written down paper. Next is your passion. Entrepreneur is a mad journey. You got to be mad. Sometimes everything is against you. Maybe the environment, government policies sometime. Yeah, Pranav, business and personal ethics. It is not limited to only business ethics. It's your code of honor covering your personal as well as business, both. So it's a mad journey, entrepreneurship. Imagine when I started, I couldn't speak English. There was no capital, no education. I was not MBA or something. Now I teach MBAs, IITs, and even doctors. Because I went to the best school of life. So that time, when you have nothing, you have no capital, you have no education, no mentor. I didn't even have a telephone or a bike or a car for that matter. No money. In those circumstances, how do you grow? How do you become an entrepreneur? Only one thing. That was the passion. That no matter what happens, I have to make it. If I had no money to pay for the bus ticket, I used to walk. Many days, nights, I have slept in the factory with the workers. So that passion, that drives you. There is no excuse then. You have no excuse that I don't have money or I don't have government support or I don't have parent support or I can't speak English or I'm not MBA or I'm not educated. Nothing. Only one thing drives an entrepreneur. That is passion. I came to Jodhpur with my wife. On 29th, I was speaking at SBI Conclave. All the top GMs and MD were here. And I decided to extend my stay for 2-3 days to have some relaxation. But this request came from MSME that I need to do this session. And I'm doing it from a hotel room. But this subject is very, very close to my heart. Entrepreneurship. And I want to thank you all for being here also with me on this Sunday evening. So I'm going to talk about 15 qualities of an entrepreneur. So number 1, I told you code of honor. Number 2 is passion. Number 3 is, thank you very much, Sagar. I'm also fortunate to have you all here today on this Sunday evening, and we are having this interaction. Next is your expertise, knowledge about the subject. Either you study that. So when I started my own garment export, I worked for other exporters for 2 years, learned that. And rest of the learning came on the job. Then I started in 2005 wealth management. So I went to college, 2 years weekend college. International College of Financial Planning. I did financial planning. And then came in contact with my co-founder. He was one of the students there, young guy. So you got to learn, you got to be expert in your subject. For example, Oyo Room Ritesh. I heard his story. He stayed in many guest houses. One of our friends has a guest house in Gurgaon. He said he stayed with them also to understand the problems faced by all the guests there. Shankar Venkataraman is saying no audio. Everybody is able to see video and hear. Shankar, please check your settings. Check your headphones. Maybe something wrong with your headphone. So there's a book, Outliers. You need 10,000 hours to be an expert in the field. I started public speaking around 2017. Took me 4 years now to get recognized as a good public speaker, and now people pay me a lot of money to speak. I came here, Jodhpur, to speak for very senior officers of State Bank of India. Number 4, you should pay attention to your personal branding. It's a very important subject. If you remember, earlier the companies were named in the name of founder. Till today, a lot of companies like Tata Steel, Tata Motors, Tata Consultancy, they were proud. JC Penney, RH Macy's. So in between, the things changed and companies started with the very generic names and started to take the help of celebrities. And those celebrities may not be using those products or services. You may not. How many of you know, by the way, Tony Robbins? Type yes in the comment box if you heard of one of the best coach in the world and a speaker, Tony Robbins. How many of you heard about it? Yes. Now, how many of you know the company name of Tony Robbins? By the way, anyone knows here a company owned by Tony Robbins? Don't know. He's got over 50 companies. This is the power of personal branding. No matter you have 50 companies or 30 companies, but when people see you stand behind that company, the trust develops. Similarly, Elon Musk, he's got a couple of companies beside Tesla, but he is using his personal brand for all of his business. Very active on social media, on Twitter, on Facebook, or LinkedIn. SpaceX also. So work on your personal brand. And right now, it's these days it's become very easy. Earlier, you got to be on TV or newspaper to be a personal brand. Today, you can do it with digital media, on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn. So work on your personal branding. Number 5 is self-discipline. Now, self-discipline doesn't mean that you get up at 5 a.m. or 4 a.m. Whatever your timings are. If you're more productive at night, it's fine. You sleep at 2 a.m., you get up at 9 a.m., 10 a.m. every day, but that should be your discipline. That should be your rhythm. Get your 8 hours sleep. Get your exercise time. That's your part of discipline. That you return all calls same day. You reply all messages same day. That's part of your discipline. Number 6. Most entrepreneurs miss this part, is networking. Your network is your net worth. You create that's your social capital. Like you keep depositing money in the bank and you withdraw when you need it. So networking you should be doing all your life when you don't need it. You don't dig the well when you are thirsty. You keep building your network relationships. There's a wonderful book by Keith Ferrazzi. It says, never eat alone. So one of my customers, he was a Jew in America. I didn't read that book that time. So he told me this, Suresh, always break bread with your customers. But there is a different kind of bonding happen when you break bread with your customers. I remember a very large chain in US, 6,000 stores, their entire team with their manager came to our office. It was the first small test order. And as a practice, we used to invite them home or outside for lunch, dinner, or breakfast or something. We invited them home. We became good friends, but later, when they saw that our quality is good, our pricing is good, our shipments are on time, they said, we do not want to deal with any other manufacturer out of India. So with you only coming, 8 people coming to India, why don't, they used to travel 2 times a year for their buying trip. So why don't you meet us in Indonesia, meet us in Dubai or Thailand? And I remember 1999 in Dubai. We started writing, we were staying at Grand Hyatt, we started writing orders from 8 a.m. until 6, 7, 8 p.m. We 10 to 12 hours we were writing orders. And then we went for the dog cruise and dinner and everything. Next day I calculated one single day order, those time 15 crore rupees. Yes, 15 crore rupees. So that's the power of building relationship. Networking is all about building relationship and adding value to people, helping people around. Because when you help other people, you keep on depositing in your social capital. And you will help maybe sometime one person at a time, but when you help hundreds of people, it will start to come back to you manifold. When they 100 or 200 or 500 people think about you, then you don't have to market yourself. And especially these days, digital marketing, this is my part of adding value. I'm spending my vacation time with you here to give you some value, give the piece of my knowledge. This is my giving on digital marketing. I've shot around 400 videos on YouTube. That's my giving, adding value to people, creating my social capital. You create your social capital offline, you create your social capital online. And that becomes your powerful network. They start to think about you when they need product or services you are selling. They start to think about you when they see opportunity for you in their network. For example, if somebody is looking for a keynote speaker, and if you know me and if I have added value today, you're going to recommend me. Yes, I have heard Mr. Suresh Mansharamani, he's a good speaker. Or maybe somebody needs a business coach. If I have added value, I have done something for you in life, then you're going to recommend me. That's the power of network. When your network starts to sell for you, then the magic happens. And each one has got at least 2,000 to 3,000 people in there. So you can see that compounding effect, how it can happen. Number 7 is leadership qualities. When you walk the talk. As an entrepreneur, you are a leader. People learn by watching you. Not what you say, what you do. And leadership skills are not you are born with, you can learn. To read about what leadership qualities an entrepreneur needs. But in a nutshell, you should be walking the talk. If you say that, yes, everybody should be in the office by 10 a.m., you should be there 10 a.m. Everybody should be formally dressed. You should be formally dressed. For our company, the customer first, everybody believes in that because you believe in that. Number 8. And I'm mentioning all these very, very top qualities. There are a lot, many other qualities. Your communication skills. The quality of your life depends on quality of your communication. how you communicate. And communication is not about what I am doing here, talking, making a speech, or this communication can be one-to-one and one-to-many. How you communicate with your customers, how you communicate with your team, how do you communicate with your investors? How many of you read that letter Warren Buffett writes to his shareholder? That's communication. How you communicate to your shareholders on your AGM? That's part of your communication. And that too, my dear friends, is a learnable skill. And some part of that communication skill is public speaking. You must learn. World's richest man, Warren Buffett, says, part of my success is because of my public speaking skills, which he learned from Dale Carnegie. And his office has got only one certificate, no university degree. He went to Stanford. His only certificate from Dale Carnegie. So public speaking and art of communication go hand in hand, and you must, as an entrepreneur, because you are going to be very, very successful, and you will need to address a lot of time press, your shareholders, your team, your staff. So better you start learning now if you have not paid attention to it. Number 9, you're going to face a lot of storms. One big storm most entrepreneurs face in 2020-21 is COVID-19. A lot of businesses got destroyed. Unfortunately, one of my friend, I just got the news today, committed suicide. He was a restaurateur, could not tolerate the losses he had. So no matter what happened, you practice positivity. No matter how things go wrong, whatever storms you face, grow bigger than your problem. I would rather say you should take a piece of paper, and whenever you face any problem, make a line. Write on that, make a simple line. Make a line, write problem on a piece of paper. And next, make a bigger line than that line and write me. Now that me line is bigger than the problem line, and visualize yourself, you are bigger than your problems. And you can, my dear friend, you can grow bigger than your problems. Edmund Hillary made this wonderful quote. He failed 13 times climbing Mount Everest, and he made this powerful statement. As a mountain, Mount Everest, you cannot grow any bigger than 29,000 feet. As a human, I can. As a human, I can. And on the 14th attempt, he was able to conquer Mount Everest. He said, I'll come again and I'll conquer you. So I want you all to type in the comment box, I am bigger than my problems. No matter what happens, you remain positive all the time. No matter what happens, you remain positive. Once in 2005, we went to Paris, Pret-a-Porter. That was the name of the exhibition or fair. Yes, thank you, Mentor. Very good. I am bigger than my problem. Everybody. Feel bigger than your problem. So we went to Paris, got a lot of orders. Came back. This time, Diwali time. Most of the goods were ready. And our factory got fire. Everything burned down. Black police came, crime branch came, media came. Very tough time. And next day morning, we gathered our team. I said, we need to be up and running in next 3 days. Call the insurance guys. They took a picture. We asked their permission, can we clean up the factory? They said yes. We called heavy labor, 10, 15 people. They cleaned up everything. We call the electrician, we say rewire the whole factory in 24 hours. We call the whitewashing guy, it's a whitewash everything. Inform all the buyers that we are a fire, we need action. Now guess what happened? The factory was not ready in 3 days, but was ready in 5 days. We ended up getting extensions from most of the buyers, and we got 100% claim from the insurance. Even the goods which were stock, and next few years we could have sold that to the scrap dealer. We got the full book value because we had the invoices and bills, and those were at the book value. Some stock goods. So now imagine, if you think negative that everything is burned down, your mind will stop thinking anything creative. And we came out as a winner from that fire instead of going into depression and losses. Number 10 is focus. When you are a small business owner, you are a startup or you are MSME, you can't afford to do many businesses. Once you've grown, you become like Tata, Birla, or Reliance. Then you can acquire more businesses. Bill Gates, Zuckerberg, everybody did one business in the beginning. When they became successful, they acquired Instagram, they acquired WhatsApp, they acquired many more businesses. Initially, you must focus on one business and make it successful. You've seen that when the rocket flies, you're sitting miles away, but that is an earth-shattering experience. Now imagine rocket has got 3 engines. If those 3 engines are firing in different directions, the rocket is going to crash. So you need that power. Like the rocket needs that power to go out of the Earth's gravity. Initially, you need that focus. Always remain focused. Number 11. Most entrepreneurs miss on this. Many entrepreneurs, MSME, come to me for coaching. And when I ask them, what's your turnover? Yeah, 100 crore. What's your gross profit? Our CA knows. What's your net profit? Our CA knows. Your cash flow is positive or negative. Our CA knows. Do you have next 3 years financial projections? Our CA knows. Are your compliances all done? GST, ROC filing, our CA knows. Is your payroll correctly done? All the provident fund, labor, ESI, everything done? No, our consultant knows. You should be aware. Every month you should be looking at your numbers, your sales figures, your sales targets, your purchases, each and every expense. A small leak can sink a big ship. Look at your financial numbers. If you are not aware about how to read your balance sheets and other, learn that. Otherwise, you can land into some big trouble sometime. Next is team. Without a team, you cannot grow. You cannot grow without a team, a great team. Your co-founders, your key staff, your other team members. Most businesses are standing on 3 pillars. Number 1 is quality of customers you have. Number 2, the quality of people you hire. Number 1, quality of customers you have. Number 2, the quality of people you have. Number 3, the environment you provide. Once all these 3 things you take care of, you have a great business, you have a great team. Because people need, number 1, financial security. You should be paying them well. Emotional bonding. You should be connected with them. And then the growth. Keep training them, keep training them. People love to grow. They hate stagnancy. They need growth. Not only in their salary, but they're in knowledge too. Keep giving them that knowledge also. Conduct various training, soft skills and other things. Number 14, which also a lot of entrepreneurs miss, is your exit strategy. That you should have from the day one. Now tell me one thing. Did Flipkart made any money? Did WhatsApp made any money? Flipkart sold for $13 billion. WhatsApp sold for $19 billion. आपके कैलकुलेटर में एरर आ जाएंगे वो नंबर्स अगर रुपए में कन्वर्ट करेंगे. 1 billion is 7,500 crore approximately. But those founders had the exit strategy in mind. So always keep in mind the valuation of your company. That if you want to sell or don't sell, that's okay. Exit or don't exit, also your choice. But you should always have in mind the valuation of your company. If you want to sell it today, what would somebody pay for it? So your business should be very well systemized. You should have a great team, but nobody is going to pay for you. They're going to pay for your business, for your team, for your system, so that anybody can come and run that business. Sachin and Binny Bansal left Flipkart. But Flipkart is still running because business was systemized. So systemize your business. Now the last part, last quality of an entrepreneur, which most people miss. They make a lot of money. They make a lot of money and lose their health. They land up in hospital. So take care of your health. Always have a nutritious diet. If you can spend some money on having a good nutritionist, then have a nutritionist or read about it and exercise. Last but not the least, always do some meditation. That keeps your mind calm and composed. In all kind of situations, you're focused, you don't lose your positivity, you don't lose your calm. Yeah, yoga, prana, yes. That's part of your exercise. So once you have health, wealth, and third thing, that's the bonus, is your happiness. Keep yourself happy. Don't read newspapers, television news. My exposure to TV is only Sunday movie. That's true most of the time, comedy and romance. Or news is Economic Times online on my mobile phone. That's it. Because most news is very, very negative. And it affects your life. I met somebody in Mumbai a few years ago. He said, how come you remain so positive? That person, business shut down, he went to jail. So I said, yeah, I have a coach. It came by years of practice. I used to have a coach in Mumbai. From him, I learned positivity. So I sent that person to him, and he found out that this person who went to jail, his business closed down. He watched movie Waqt, which was a very, very sad movie, 13 times. So let me tell you one thing, when you watch all these sad movies, or listen to the sad song, a lot of people listen to the sad songs, you attract sadness in your life. So watch comedies, remain happy, because in a happy body, a disease cannot survive. I'm 63-year-old, zero dependence on any kind of medicine. I feel like a 25-year-old, learn like a 25-year-old. All right. So with this, I come to the end of this session. Thank you. Okay.